Hi there. For those of you guys who don't know me, I'm Jessica. I'm a licensed realtor here in the Phoenix and Scottsdale Valley. I'm also licensed in New Mexico, and I do a lot of work overseas for expats. This is going to be a quick series on the things that I find in 2025, the top 5 biggest mistakes for new homeowners and buyers searching for a home. Disclaimer, I am not an attorney yet, so anything I say is not legal advice. Take it as such. This is just from my personal experience. One of the biggest mistakes that I see new home buyers doing at the negotiation table is asking the sellers to reduce the price, the overall price of the property, versus asking that money in concessions. So the reason why this is so important is because if you were to shave off $10,000, $20,000 off of your entire bill, especially if you're getting a mortgage, you're not going to see that much of a difference on your monthly payment. Versus if you ask for that same $10,000 to $20,000 in concessions, you can use that money to buy down your interest rate. You can use it to pay your closing costs. You can use it for a whole variety of things, and it's going to be a lot more effective in getting and reducing down your monthly payment. So this primarily affects people who are going to be using a mortgage or a loan for purchasing a property, not necessarily cash buyers. So for home sellers, either way that you go, it's virtually the same because they're going to be getting the same amount of money at the end of the day. So whether you ask them to reduce their price by $10,000 to $20,000 versus giving concessions of $10,000 to $20,000, it's going to look about the same for the sellers. For the buyers, it's a completely different scenario. Now, the key to really making this work for you is shopping around and finding that ideal lender who has your ultimate goals in mind. Everybody is going to be approaching buying a property for different reasons. Some people want it for their forever home, their family home. Some people want it for a rental. Some people just need something temporary for a year or two or a little longer, and then they're going to flip it or change it and have it change hands. So finding somebody who understands what you're trying to do and your ultimate goals are, they will be able to help you navigate the process, because a buy down might not be the right thing or the right resource for everyone. There is a new program. It's been going around for a few years now. It's been quite popular since the COVID days. It's called a 2-1 buy down. In this situation, a seller or the buyer can buy down the interest rate, and it will be down low enough, and over time, usually within a year or two or however long you guys allocate it, it will go back up to where it was supposed to be originally. The key and the trick for that one is to try to refi before it goes back to that base level, especially if interest rates around have already dropped significantly. And as you guys know, us realtors and lenders, we don't have a crystal ball. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, if things are going to tank, if the interest rates are going to drop super low, or if they're going to go up really high. But we can use estimations and professional guesstimates, I guess you could say, to try to get you in the right place financially. Make sure to ask your lender what they can do for you if interest rates drop significantly within like a year or two. A lot of lenders will offer a free or very low cost refinancing program to get you to that lower amount, or they can also roll over some of the 2-1 buy downs. Not all lenders will do this, so make sure that you ask, because even though they do have a basis and national guide for what they need to do and state guides, every boutique or brokerage is going to have slightly different variations on the programs that they offer and what they can do for you. So the next issue that I see quite often is when a home buyer will come in with a very, very low, pretty much insulting offer for the seller, because they know that we are in a time that's a little bit weird and they know that they have more buying power. The problem that I see with this is residential is not like commercial. A lot of people are very emotionally tied to their home. Their home is an extension of themselves. So when somebody comes in and gives you a very, very low offer, very insulting, probably even lower than what they paid for it, that person, that seller, is going to shut down and they're going to tell you absolutely no, and they don't want to work with you. So you have to really put yourself in their shoes for it. Of course, there are sellers who do overpriced properties and realtors as well that encourage that. But in most cases, you should be getting a CMA, a comparable market analysis, to give you a better idea of what all the other properties in the area are going for, including taxes, what they'd sold for within the last 30 to 60, even 90 days. So you have a better idea of what your house is worth if you were to turn around and sell it tomorrow. Having properties where you're coming in and offering $100,000 under is going to be quite insulting, especially for something that is under, like, say 600, 700,000. When it's over in the millions, like luxury range, that is perfectly acceptable at that point. So talk to your realtor, find out a game plan, make sure that you understand how things work, because there is a second time that you guys can renegotiate everything. This is during your inspection period. A lot of people don't know this, but during your inspection period, you can back out of a contract if you find too many problems with the home, or just for anything, if something comes up. So this is a great time to renegotiate a second time around. You can ask for repairs for the things that you find wrong in the home. You can ask for remediation, or you can ask for money in lieu of repairs, or you can ask for them to reduce the whole overall price. There's so many things that you can do with it. So getting your foot in the door with a reasonable offer is usually what I recommend to people. So it's not a slap in the face. And when you start off on a good foot, it's gonna make the whole process much easier. And sellers are more inclined to offer you those extra concessions, give you repairs, or give you money in lieu of repairs once you get to that second portion of the whole negotiation process. The third problem that I see is at this second negotiation process during the inspection period. So when we do our inspection periods, we typically bring in an inspector. They have to be licensed and bonded with the state. They have to be registered. And that inspector, it is their job to find every single little problem with the home. So you're going to end up with a Bible of problems, even if it is a new build. They are going to find everything from chipped paint to nail pops. Those are very, very insignificant things that can just be cosmetic, all the way to very large ticket items such as replacing the roof, replacing all of your plumbing, for instance. So what I always recommend to my clients is to pick the 5 items, the top 5 items that you want to get done that are going to directly impact value or safety or the integrity of the home in the long run. The little tiny things that are cosmetic, sometimes they can just be irritating for a seller, and if you give them a huge laundry list of items that they have to correct before closing, they're going to be more likely to just tell you, redline it all and tell you absolutely no, and walk away and try to blow up the whole deal. So really think about, what do you want done, what do you need done, and try to get things within reason. I realize that this video is getting kind of long, so stay tuned. I'm going to be reposting a few more tips and tricks and the rest of the biggest mistakes that I've been seeing in the year 2025 pretty soon, within a week. So see you then.